Good afternoon, Phil from MOTO-MATE, Super Duke GT. We've sold a few of our nav mounts for the GT, and we've had a bit of feedback, and we've looked at a Mark II to incorporate that. What we've done is we've moved from the additive manufactured part to a 5mm CNC folded aluminium part, and we've incorporated certain features such as the ability to mount the nav in portrait style or landscape without requiring adapters. We have an accessory, a hole to pass the connector through for bringing that through. Let's put it on and see how it looks. Right, so first step, remove the screen and park it somewhere safe so it can't get damaged. Screen off. Like the Super Adventure, 3 mounting points for the TFT, 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom. Unlike the Super Adventure, the bottom mount on the GT has a nut on it rather than going into a top hat bush. But other than that, it's quite much very similar. You notice that Dave's got a different mount on here, so we'll be taking that off for him. But it doesn't change the process. We're just going to remove the cradle. Might even give Dave some nice new shiny stainless steel nuts and bolts for this. Unlike the Super Adventure, which gives you lots of wire to bring the TFT forward, the GT is really tight, so it's quite a snug to get in there and to release the connector. Obviously, we don't want to stretch or strain anything. There it goes. Okay, there's that. So I'm just going to drop that back in there just to stop it rattling around and just damaging anything. TFT mounting frame, 1 nav mount. This is where it's all going to get a little bit fiddly, but only for a second. So Dave's got his GPS already wired in, so rather than disconnecting that, I'm running the wire up under the frame by the connector on the side there. And then what we need to do is, in the kit we have these little black spacers, and all I'm going to try and do without throwing them all on the floor is pop those in there. They fill out the gaps in the mounting frame so that nothing floats around unnecessarily. So with those all lined up and in place, and I drop the nav mount on and screw it down. Right, so just pull through enough slack so we can bring the cable up onto there, so that's about right. Now I'm just going to tighten these up. Now we're screwing into the rubber anti-vibration mounts for the TFT, so we don't want to over tighten these because you don't want to risk tearing those bushes. So nip them off nicely. Just make sure they are just pulled up nicely, nothing too mad. Right, so lower mounts in, connectors on, so just bring that back and make sure that it all lined up on the mounting holes. There we go. Right, 2 T30 Torx is on the top. And the long bolt through the lower mount. On that side, 7mm socket. Right, so I'll bolt the nav mount up. Dave is using a Garmin. So it's M4 fasteners. So what we have in the kit well, not in the kit, but what we can provide is a little kit of top hat bushes. We provide a kit of top hat bushes, so 4 of these, which will take up the slack in the mounting holes between M4 and M5. This is all going to go horribly wrong and I'm going to drop everything. Pop the screen back on. As you can see, Dave is using, I'm not sure what brand of screen it is, but it's a bigger touring screen and it has some spacers behind the mounts. So I need to be careful not to lose any of those for him. Right, now back on. It's inside the screen. Screen goes down and up. There we have the Garmin XT fitted. We're clear of the screen. The screen is in its high position at the moment and still drops down and clears. That's pretty solid. TFT is all solid. Got a good clear view, lots of clearance around the instruments, and there you have it. So hope that was of interest for you. Questions, any comments, drop them in the box below or drop me an email. Anyway, thanks guys. Cheers.